send money to Sanjana, let us say 80 coins. So there is one priest who will first ask the question, did you have this 100 coins with you to spend 80 coins? If the answer is no, priest will not approve of that particular transaction. I know that this is kind of technical, but yes. So this is how it works. And the technical term what we are going to use for this is something called as mining. M-I-N-I-N-G, mining. And the person who approves the wedding or approves a particular transaction is something called as miner. Now, how does this mining work? Now, when we talk about wedding, we have to appoint our priest. Okay, like we approach a particular person, we say that we want you to decide over our wedding. But when we talk about a cryptocurrency transaction, now it is happening between two parties across the world. Now the question is, how are you going to choose the priest? Now, you are not manually selecting the priest. Now, there are these miners. Okay, I'm going to use the word miners henceforth. There are these miners, let us say there are 20 miners. Now they want to approve this particular transaction, saying that this particular transaction happened. But we don't want all the 20 people to say that transaction happened. So what we are going to do is, we are going to give them one puzzle. Now think like there are room with 20 priests, and I hand over everybody a Sudoku puzzle. And I will say, the first person to solve this Sudoku puzzle will get a right to authenticate the wedding. So the moment I give it to them, 20 people will start solving it. The first person to solve will get the right to approve a particular transaction. Now you may be wondering, why would somebody want to do that particular transaction? That is because he will be paid with certain reward, what we call it as mining charges or mining fees. So if he wins, so it is a zero-sum game. That means it is a competition. Out of 20, there is only one winner, 19 people will lose. But the person who wins will get certain things. For example, in Bitcoin, every time a transaction happens, a person has to authorize that particular transaction. So there are so many miners across the world. Some people in China, Hong Kong, India, all across the world, solving this puzzle. The first person to solve this puzzle will get, let us say, 5 bitcoins or 10 bitcoins. Let me not go into the actual numbers. So this is how the entire framework works. So again, quickly recapping whatever we have studied. So in cryptocurrency, why there was a need of cryptocurrency? Because people said that let government not have a sovereignty in issuing the currencies. Let people of the world, let us give ourselves planning to come with certain law to ban this. So the very question is, can government really ban this? So all these things we will discuss in our next couple of minutes. But at the very outset, we need to understand two important words. One is blockchain and one is cryptocurrency. Now, in the simplest word possible, let us say people use these both terms interchangeably. They think blockchain and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, everything is one and the same. So let us clear that myth first. Now, we know there is something called as internet, and we also know there is something called as internet banking. Now, do we say that internet and internet banking are one and the same? No. With internet, we can do so many things. With internet, I can watch videos, I can listen to music, I can write an email. Similarly, I can also do internet banking. So, internet is a technology. Internet banking is one of the applications. Similarly, blockchain is a technology. Blockchain is a larger technology, and cryptocurrency is one of the applications. Then comes the question, then what is this Bitcoin? Now when I say with internet, one of the application is emailing. So you can email. But for me to email, I can use various email provider services. I can use Gmail, I can use Outlook, I can, older times I can use Yahoo. So these are the various options that I have. But what is the use case? Email is the use case. Similarly, when I talk about blockchain, then there comes one of the use cases, cryptocurrency. And in that one cryptocurrency, I have multiple cryptocurrencies. For example, Bitcoin is one of the cryptocurrency, Ether is another cryptocurrency, Ripple, and the list goes on. Just to give you an info, just a fair enough idea, there are more than 50,000 different cryptocurrencies. So we only know hardly 10 to 15 most popular ones. And in a lifetime, we may never know what are the What are the names of different cryptocurrencies? But here, what we are going to talk about is how does, at the while giving the introductory talk, one of the speakers said here that somebody said BTC, Bitcoin has no value at all. You are absolutely right. So we will discuss on how do we say whether Bitcoin is valued 40 lakh rupees or even 4 rupees. Okay. So now, first let us understand. So when we talk about internet as a technology, what is internet? It is one computer being connected to another computer. As simple as that. So my phone is connected to the entire globe. So that is how this technology functions. So when I talk about understand the concept of cryptocurrency, from where does it really get its value? Now let us say that this is the book, The White Tiger, which is written by Mr. Adiga. Now, let us say I have a physical copy of book in my hand. A physical copy. Just I want everybody to picturize this. Now, let us say I purchased this book and I paid 900 for this book and I have a physical copy of this book with me. Now, for some reason, I don't want to read this book. So now, I want to give this book to my friend. And I will say, hey, I don't want to read this book. I want to give it to you. Are you willing to buy? Now, hypothetically, let us say she does not bargain for the second-hand price. She is willing to pay me 900 itself. So what I am going to do? I am going to take the money and I am going to transfer my book to her. Now the question is, do I have that book with me? I don't have the book. So when I transfer two things. One is the possession of the book. So book is no more with me, as well as I also transfer the right of the book. So she can do whatever she wants to do with the book. Now in physical world, it is very easy. It is very simple for me to transfer anything. A physical delivery, that's it. Done. I give book to her, the book is hers. Now if she decides to sell it to somebody else, again she will take the money, transfer the book to another person. Now, question is, instead of this one physical copy of the book, we know that nowadays we get the e-books, right? Now, let us say that I have, instead of purchasing the actual book, the physical copy of it, I have purchased the soft copy of the book. Okay, the book reads as white book, not PDF. Now, question is, if I have to give that book to her, will I still have a copy of that book with me?
Yes.
Yes. So, this is the difference between the physical world as well as the digital world. In physical world, even if I were to do a Xerox, the photocopy of the book and give it to her, anybody can make out the difference between the original copy and the photocopy, and the photocopy will never have the value of the original book. But when it comes to digital copy, nobody can make out which was the original copy, which is the duplicate copy. Now, let us say I somehow convince her, saying that, well, I am going to give a copy of the book to you. You pay 900 rupees to me. So let us say for once she gets convinced, she gives that 900 rupees to me. But now I still have the copy of the book with me. One copy. I will go to my computer, Control C, Control V, copy, paste. I create one more copy. I send it to this. I will say, sir, pay me 900 rupees. Another person, whenever I am sending 500 rupees to her, all that is happening is banker takes the responsibility of deducting money from my account and crediting the amount to her account. For this, bank will charge some amount of money. Now you will say, no, UPI is free. I understand. But now let us talk about, I have 10,000 rupees here and I have a cousin of mine who is studying somewhere in US. Now I want to send this 10,000 rupees to my brother cousin who is studying in US. How do I send it? Now I can't send physical money. I have to send the digital money. But now digital money, can I send it without the help of bankers? No. I have to take the help of bankers. I will first ask my bank to send the money to his bank. So my bank is going to charge some amount of money to me. His bank is going to send some amount of money to him. So presently, there are so many intermediaries that we play with who charges money for every single transaction. Now, audience will be able to appreciate it if I were to talk about certain debit card transactions. That too, if I am making some international payments, I go to a shop, swipe my card, or let us say certain services I want to avail, put my debit card number and make the payment. Now, for the payment from a customer's account for it to reach the seller's account, there are so many intermediaries. And we are, from time immemorial, we are paying these intermediary charges. now comes the question. Now let us say that I want to lend my money to somebody else, but I don't trust other parties. So what do? Is I go to a bank, I will say, hey, I have excess money of 5 lakh rupees with me, keep it. Give me just 4 or 5% of FD rate, and bank, what it will do is, it will lend the same money, that is my money, to somebody else, and they charge interest at the higher rate, and then they enjoy the margin. So then people came together after the 2008, the global crash. People said, even if I give my money to the bank, there is no guarantee that bank is going to protect it. So I want to be able to have money with me. I don't want to give it to somebody else and trust them. So that is where the concept of cryptocurrency came in for the very first time. But then there was one challenge. The challenge was this. So if you don't want to depend on the banks, if you don't want to depend on the government to issue the currency, you want a currency which to be operated by the people. The question is, how are you going to stop Control C, Control V? So if I am going to float a company, and I will say, okay, today I have one coin of any company, and I am going to print, just do copy. It may not be as simple as copy paste, but it is not impossible. So that is where a technology of blockchain was required. Now let us connect these two together. So we have discussed what blockchain is, and I told blockchain is nothing but one big board on which we write who is the sender, who is the receiver, and what is the money that is being sent. That is what blockchain is. And now what cryptocurrency can do is, now let us say, I provided some services. To some person, and that person gave me 100 coins. Let us not coin, just 100 coins that they have transferred. Now, in this big board that gets recorded. Now let us call the name of the person is Mr. X. So Mr. X, there will be his, now let us call his account number. Mr. X, there is one account number, and Mr. Anwesh, there is my account number, and 100 coins. That is something that you can see. Okay? So that means I have 100 coins with me now. Now the question is, I have 100 coins with me. Now, can I send 200 coins to her? Now, ideally speaking, I should be able to duplicate coins from 100 coins to 200 coins, and I should be able to send it. But blockchain is a public ledger. That means if I send 200 coins to her, she can come and check, did I really have 200 coins with me? From the time I opened my account, all the money that came to me was 100 rupees. So I cannot spend what I don't have. So what is the maximum amount I can spend? 100. Okay. So the moment I give her 100 rupees, even that transaction is not private. That is also get recorded in the same public ledger from Anwesh to Sanjana. Let us say I give her 80 coins. So in this ledger itself, my coins get deducted. From 100, it becomes 80, and all that I have is only 20 coins. Now at the maximum, now there is an account of Sanjana. What is the maximum amount she can spend? Is only 80 coins, because she has only received 80 coins. So now this way, blockchain along with cryptocurrency, it sees to it that a person cannot spend more than what he has. So it solves the problem of duplication. So I cannot duplicate it, because even if, now there is a question, what if I still duplicate? Because at the end of the day it is computer. So now cryptocurrency works on a very interesting concept. It says that transaction is not private between two parties. I can send money to her, yes, but for it to be entered in this one ledger, people have to accept. I'll give an example. How does it work? Now let us talk my family group, whether the message is in everybody's phone. In everybody's phone. Now let us say she does not like me for some reason and she wants to delete that message. Now she has deleted the message. Now the question is, if she has deleted the message, can she claim that I never sent good morning in the group? No. Why not? Because the copy of that message is stored in everybody's device. So this is something called as distributed system. That means data is not stored in one computer. Same copy, the copy of the same data is stored in 50 different computers. So even if one person were to delete one particular transaction, it will still be not deleted because the copy of the same is kept across the computers. Now when I am talking about this WhatsApp group, I may be talking about 50-100 mobile phones. But when I am talking about a blockchain system like Bitcoin, a data is copied over lakhs of devices. So even if you delete from one computer, another computer, even if you hack one computer, two computers, it is literally impossible to hack the blockchain because data never sits in one computer. What data I am talking about? The data of these books. So you can directly delete one transaction, you can't delete any book or the whole block. Now I will quickly take you through how does it look in real life. Now all that you are supposed to do is, maybe you can try later as well, you have to go to, you just have to type something called as Blockchain Explorer. Typically in the Bulgarian, if you can't see, it is block, B-L-O-C-K, C-H-A-I-N, Blockchain Explorer. Now once we do that, now this is the website, okay? So now I want to take you through. Now, if you can see here, now if you look at here, it says it's the latest transactions, okay? And if members can see here, I want to try to your mobile phone, okay? Now there is something called as latest transaction, and if you can see here, this is changing constantly. Okay, so this is not a static record, it's a dynamic record. Now what is this record? Across the world, whoever is sending money to whoever they want to, it is not a private transaction. We can, certain companies, I use my word very carefully, there are certain companies which came up with the concept something called as stable coins. Now what is this stable coin? They said, we will deposit $10,000 in a bank account, then we will float 10,000 coins. Then they will say, the value of this 10,000 coins are backed by $10,000 which is sitting in the bank account. Those currencies are also there. You can go and Google about Tether, T-E-T-H-E-R, Tether, or something called as USDT. So these are the stable coins which are backed by some asset which is there. But now again the question is, do I really know whether $10,000 is there or not? They say that it was millions of dollars sitting in the bank account. We don't know. So tomorrow if it turns out to be a scam, then again the asset is sitting without any fundamental value, without any intrinsic value. But there are currencies which are backed by certain assets, and then there are certain currencies which are absolutely nothing. So sometimes even I get scared as to from where the value comes. So there are certain coins like BTC which are popular. There are certain coins which are like Ether, which has certain use cases. I'll come to the use cases little later. If there are any questions on what we discussed, yes.
This blockchain is controlled by whom and how reliable they are?
Okay. Now, blockchain, I told you, is a distributed system. So it is not a centralized person who controls it. It is not the Indian government or the US government or any government. It is controlled by people. People whose computers are interconnected with the help of internet. And then there is a software which is open source. That means anything that is written inside the software can be seen. And there is no changes that you can make in that software other than an absolute majority. So let us say we all are holding Bitcoin and we want to make some changes in the currency. Then with the consent of everybody who is holding that currency, we can make some changes in the software, or else we cannot make changes in that software. So it is not controlled by any person. It is a distributed system, people control it. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, burning of coins also, and they are free. Regarding burning of coins to increase more coins.
Understood. I come to that slightly later. That is on a little technical side. Now the question is, people may ask the question as to what is so wrong with the existing currency that we want to do currency? Maybe in US there are certain problems, but in India what's the problem? We have we have a stable banking system. We are happy with the currency that we have. We go to the shop, open our phone pay, Google Pay, scan it, pay 30 rupees, 80 rupees. We're happy. Then what is the problem? The problem is now this entire session is not to talk about the existing cryptocurrency, but about the future. What is the possibility? Now, cryptocurrency is something called as a programmable currency. Now, what do you mean by programmable currency? Now, let us say hypothetically, go to the
Chicken and
chicken. Now this is the Adam and Eve transaction. We go to the beginning of the time itself. How did they get that particular one? Now, let me just talk about Bitcoin. Now here, there is a system in which currencies get generated. It is not that on day one there were 10 lakh coins. No, on day one, the software itself created a couple of coins. In fact, I can go to that first block and I can, because even that block is there. So what basically happened is, how Bitcoins get created. That is where miners come into picture. Okay? So it is something like this. Imagine that there is somebody who is there is a creator. Okay? Now creator will not directly give money to people. Let us say creator only gives money to the priests. And the only priest can bring money to circulation. Now this is the fundamental understanding they are supposed to have. So the first currency, let us say, first they created 100 bitcoins. Now she sent me 100 bitcoins. Now, is this transaction valid? No, the transaction is not valid without the approval of the priest. Now, the moment priest approved the transaction, the creator gave the priest 50 bitcoins. So now in total circulation we have how many coins? 150. Now I give to her 100 coins. Now if she gives out of that 100, 30 coins to somebody else, again that transaction is incomplete without the signature of the priest. So the moment priest signs that, again he gets 50 more coins. So that way, when Bitcoin started way back in 2011, for every signature, people would get 50 Bitcoins. Then, after a couple of years, that was cut down to 25 Bitcoin per transaction. Then it was cut down to 12 Bitcoins per transaction. Now it is 6.25, what is presently. So the reward goes on coming down and down, but the value of BTC goes on increasing. So initially, I may get 50 bitcoins, but the value of each bitcoin was, let us say, 1,000 rupees. So in real term, that was just 50,000 rupees what I would earn. But then, today, though I am earning the 6 bitcoins, the value of each bitcoin is around 40 lakh rupees, roughly. So 6 bitcoin means for every transaction for me to authorize it, 6 into 40 lakh. Not happen with a traditional money. We cannot have a machine without the trusted third party. So this can only happen with the help of cryptocurrencies. So the future possibilities are endless. Now, I just give an example of
What is the benefit of the machine? What is the benefit of the machine on that? If 100% amount is credited.
Now it is not a 100% that they credit. Now this happens, this particular machine or this particular transaction, the people who are aware of bit of blockchain have heard this term, something called as smart contracts. What smart contract does is the same thing. This is nothing but a smart contract. Now, this smart contract, whenever this transaction for it to trigger, I need to pay a small amount of fees. A very minute amount of fees. So for me to send, let us say even 10 lakh rupees, the charges won't be more than 3 to 4 rupees. So when we talk about a trusted third party, who will cut in certain percentages, who may take 2 or 3 percentages of the transaction to 4 or 5 rupees per transaction, there is a huge difference. And at the same time, now, when we talk about import and export transactions, we are well aware of the fact that LCs. So if I am an importer here, purchasing from somebody who is there in Australia, I don't trust the person who is in Australia to send me the goods. Similarly, he does not trust me to pay him the money. So what do we do is, I go to my banker here, he goes to his banker there, and our bankers promises each other saying that we will ensure that this transaction happens, for which I have to pay my banker certain amount of percentage, he has to pay his banker certain percentage. But smart contract in future is going to eliminate the concept of these LCs, these bankers. So it is going to be a contract which will ensure that the moment the bill of entry is filed, just like the software is able to see who won the match, the software will be able to see from the certain government website if the bill of entry is filed, the bill of entry is filed for home consumption or not, the software will be triggered and the money will go to the sender. So the entire concept of blockchain, entire concept of cryptocurrency is with the fundamental idea that we don't want to rely on trusted third parties just like bankers or an insurance company. We want to trust the contracts which will execute on itself so that the money, if I'm supposed to get the money, software should ensure that I get the money. So that programmable money, and again I would use this word so that if there is one takeaway from this particular session, I want to be this, that cryptocurrency is nothing but a programmable money. So in future, so many transactions will happen on the basis of this programmable money. For example, insurance. Now, we are well aware of all these insurance companies where I give insurance premium, but when certain transaction happens, when an accident happens, when a death happens, or when some certain disaster happens, insurance company will say, we are not going to pay you money because of X, Y, Z, so many reasons. So, keep on passing the ball. So, when the whistle happens, who is the person who loses is the person with the ball. So, when that whistle happens, if you are with the cryptocurrency, then yes. That person. Or suddenly sometimes what happens is, as these markets are not regulated, what happens is the fluctuation is entirely dependent on emotions. Government doesn't step in and say that. See, in stock market there is something called upper circuit and lower circuit. So they say, okay, if it falls 20%, stop. Though you want to sell, you can't sell. But in cryptocurrency it is not like that. It's a 24/7 market. So even when you sleep, the price could be 30 lakh rupees. When you wake up, it could be 300 rupees. So only if you have good heart, health conditions, crypto is
Price rigging is quite possible. I mean, anytime can be done.
Absolutely, yes. Possible.
How will taxation function under these circumstances?
Okay.
There is no
Income tax
taxation on
department.
whom you tax.
Now the question is whether there is a tax on this. Now tax laws are very clear. You earn, you pay. So if you are, let us say, you had 1 lakh rupees, you invested in cryptocurrency, and at the end of the day you have 10 lakh rupees with you. 9 lakh is the profit that you made. Now the question is, should I pay tax? I don't see a reason why you should not pay the tax. 9 lakh is the income. I know it. You know it. Now I am going to ask you a very simple question. Let us say it's a Rajnikant movie comes out. So I know that there are going to be hardcore Rajnikant fans who want to watch this movie first day, first show. But I book all 50 tickets. Now I have 50 tickets with me. Now I will sell it in black. Or maybe in white. I will say I purchase it for 100 rupees. I am selling it for 10,000 rupees each. In every ticket I am making 9,900 rupees profit. Question is, should I pay income tax or not? Answer is yes, I made income. Similarly, it is with the blockchain, cryptocurrencies. I purchase for 100 rupees, selling for 10,000 rupees, 9,900 is the profit. Question is, what tax should I pay? Is it a capital asset? Should I pay tax as a capital asset? Or is it my profits and gains from business and profession? How do I classify that? Now here, where income tax law is little not clear. Because cryptocurrency do not fit under the definition of capital asset. So if you want to offer it to tax, offer it under PGBP, profits and gains from business and profession. Yes.
I just have a doubt. Like, suppose someone by mistakenly send me 3 Bitcoin, and Bitcoin have come and start investing. It is not exchanged in our Indian currency. It's still in the Bitcoin. This one. I don't know about that. How I have not realized it. Will I be taxed for that?
Yes, bit like this. So you create your account number. Okay, there is a website through which you can actually create a number of yours. So that is just like your email ID. That is only known to you. Now if I have 1 coin, you can ask it to transfer 1 coin to you. So from my address, I will transfer to your address. It is not an exchange. There are certain applications I can use to send money from my wallet to your wallet. So it is off the exchange transaction. So it will sit in your address. That's it. It is
That
not.
can't be tracked by IT people.
No.
Any ordinary person can create cryptocurrency.
Yes. There are so many websites. You can go to GitHub. You can see, you just have to spend 15,000-20,000 rupees. You can create your own currency.
Who is giving this mathematics to the miners?
Who is that?
Mathematics.
For
Miners were
solving this particular thing.
Yeah.
Now, what miners basically are doing is they're just guessing a number. If I have to explain what mining basically do is, I could have shown, but this system is not visible. That is the problem.
That's all.
So here what happens is, so one puzzle, we just imagine one puzzle and it has one answer. There's just one answer for that one puzzle. Just like think like one equation, the answer is let us say 32,500. That is the answer for that particular question. Now, there is no way you can manually solve this number, solve this particular sum. all that you can do is you are supposed to start guessing. It is nothing but a guesswork. So I will say 1, machine will say no, wrong answer. 2, no. 3, no. 4, no. So people all over the world are randomly guessing the number. There is nobody solving that number. So the first person to guess the number correctly is the person who finds the answer. That's it. Yes, but it sounds simple, but the number runs in crores together. So then guessing, you have to guess in that speed. Yes. So it is guesswork, no solving thing.
And who is giving the reward to them? 4 Bitcoin for
The software itself.
Ah.
Yes.
This cryptocurrency so far they are started in foreign countries.
Huh.
So is there any plan Indians are going to start this?